Welcome to 2x. Today we are going to discuss about the most important MCQs from The Ox, a short story by H. Bates. So before proceeding to the main MCQ section, I just like to tell you that I have started an Android app, SLST English and PT Online. Those who are interested to practice for SLST English and those who are appearing in the exam, which is generally conducted by the West Bengal Central School Service Commission, and you can contact me in the WhatsApp number given, or you can join my Telegram channel, the link of which is already given in the description box. And I have created a portal and website to practice SLST English MCQs, mock tests free of cost. That's English SLST.online. And those who are interested to download the Android app created by me, you can just join my channel, or you can contact me in the WhatsApp number given here. So let's proceed to the MCQs we have today for you. For the first MCQ, actually these are not MCQs, one-liner study materials. Actually I have omitted other options so that it does not take much time. This short story, The Ox, is written by H.E. Bates. Okay, what is the full name of H.E. Bates? Here the right answer is Herbert Ernest Bates. Here the right answer is Herbert Ernest Bates. Next, The Ox deals with the life of hardships and pain of a simple and rustic woman. She is Mrs. Thurlow. Next, whose physical attributes are in the likeness of an ox? Here the right answer is again Mrs. Thurlow's. Next, how many plots are there in the short story? In the story, I have omitted the term short story. Generally, in a short story, number of plot is one, but I have omitted this. But and in the story, the ox, you will have to tell me how many plots are there. Actually, there is a single plot. This one is a one plot story or short story. Next, the story of the ox is a tragedy, comedy, epic. Here the right answer is option A, not actually option A, but the first option, tragedy. This one is a tragedy. Next, what happened to Mrs. Thurlow's husband? Mrs. Thurlow's husband, her husband was involved in a murder. She was convicted of murdering, or convicted of murder, and he was sent to the police custody, and there he died. Next, who is the central character of the story, The Ox? You have to tell me the central or the main character. The main character is again Mrs. Thurlow. Next, when did Mrs. Thurlow set out for work and when did she return? He starts at 7:30 every morning. During this period of time, or during this time, he leaves for work and returns at 6 p.m. every day, or returns at 6 every evening. So from almost 7 to 6 she works, near about 11 hours. What was for Mr. Thurlow a vehicle of necessity? Here the right answer is her bicycle. Next, from 9 to 12 Mrs. Thurlow worked for the retired photographer. Here the right answer is the retired photographer. Next, Mrs. Thurlow served the middle-aged bachelor from 4 to 6 p.m. Next, how many sons did Mrs. Thurlow have? Only two. Only two, or two sons? Mrs. Thurlow had two sons. Next, how old were Mrs. Thurlow's sons? One is 9 and the other 13. 9 and 13. MCQ number 14, or the one-liner study material number 14. Mrs. Thurlow saved money for her son's upbringing and decent education. He always wanted her sons to be established in their life, and this is why he toiled her level best to earn money, and also tried to save money for the future, or for the bright future of her sons. Next, by profession, Mrs. Thurlow's husband was an ex-army personnel, an ex-serviceman. He was a retired army personnel. Next, Mrs. Thurlow's house was situated on the top of a small hill, and a flight of wooden steps led to its front door. You will have to climb a flight of wooden steps if you want to enter into uh, the home, or enter into the house, or if you want to enter through its front door. Next, Mrs. Thurlow's bicycle was always loaded with bundles of washings. Look at the options very carefully. Bundles of washings, old newspapers, bags of chicken food, and woods. These were the things she used to carry in her bicycle. When some of Mrs. Thurlow's part-time employers went away, she would try to compensate her loss of income by, when suppose some of her part-time employers left for holiday, or did not remain present at their location. At that time she was not paid, and this was a loss for a person who makes his or her livelihood by working in his day to day life. So in such cases it was a loss for her, and she used to work under someone's command just to cover the loss. Then she would do some other tasks, just as such as picking and planting potatoes. She worked in potato fields, helping in picking and planting of potatoes, digging out roots, picking peas, and doing more washing. These were the extra activities she had to conduct in order to compensate the losses she had to incurred due to the dislocation of some of her part-time employers. Next, Mrs. Thurlow did not want her sons to become options. The right answer is assistants in shops, or clerks in the office, or butlers. Next, by toiling hard in others' houses, Mrs. Thurlow had saved only 54 pounds. So friends or students, if you want to do regular preparation or regular mock tests, and you want to judge your position in the competitive scenario, you can ping me or contact me for further preparation in order to boost your strategy or preparation for the upcoming exam. So thank you for watching the video.